Good evening, friends. Welcome to day 88 and the fourth session in the new cycle, where we are trying to get closer to that tickle, that special tickle, which is the joy of the spirit, and hopefully managing to dilate those moments of real silence and thoughtlessness and awareness of how we are connected. We're lucky enough tonight. We have two lovely guests. Rhitom will be delighting us with his music. Rhitomji, if you don't mind saying hi.
Yeah, thank you. Jai Shri Mataji. Yeah, so my name is Rhitom Sarkar. Shall I introduce myself?
Yes, please.
Okay, so my name is Rhitom Sarkar. So I'm an Indian slide classical guitar player. And today I'm going to play. It's my pleasure that I get an opportunity. Many thanks to Auntie Linda, who has given me this opportunity. And I'm extremely happy, and I'm really happy to play in front of Shri Mataji and in front of all the Sai Yogis and the new seekers.
So you started learning this when you were very young, isn't it?
Yeah, I started learning at the age of 9. So now it's almost like 32 years I'm continuing.
Yeah. Well, there'll be many more, so we look so much forward. And my co-presenter tonight, Rahul, that you might have met in previous session. Rahulji, a word or two, please.
Yeah, sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Rahul Kumar. I live in Columbus, Indiana with my family, my wife, and 2 daughters. I'm an electrical engineer. I work for an engine manufacturer. And I've been meditating, doing Sahaja Yoga meditation since 2005. And it is, again, my continued joy to be here and be able to share this journey with all of you and also to learn from all of you. So happy to be here again.
Thank you very much. I'm Andrei Harbor. I am of Romanian origin. We've lived in Canada many years and in transit in some other places as well. And also have been lucky enough to be saved by the meditative process from a couple of decades back. And as usual, a great pleasure to be here with everybody. Tonight, we will try to have a new, slightly different kind of moment. And we will base part of the first meditation around a very special piece written by one of the great saints of India, Shri Shankaracharya. So he wrote this, maybe first a little bit of background. So at that time, there was a very clear path for people who were aspiring towards reaching higher on a spiritual perspective. They had to give up their family, all possessions, and spend their time with a master and studying the scriptures, and then, well, meditating lots. And in this process, they would discover lots and lots of things about themselves. And many of them did that for many lives, going higher and higher. And Shri Shankaracharya reached very high, as high as we can get as a human being. And he wrote many amazing things about the different aspects of the divine within us. And then he also wrote this particular one, which is called by different names, but one of them is Tad NIshkala, which means that which is beyond time, which means the eternal. So this is about the eternal principle. And how does this mix of eternal and extremely transient, which each of us is. And from the perspective of the eternal side, it is pretty simple that the eternal is not identified with any of the transient stuff. And it's permanently in a pure state of joyful witnessing. Now, obviously, while we still have a body and we have to kind of, feed the body and a couple of other things, it will be hard to stay in that state 24/7, where the eternal just contemplates itself and the infinite eternal. Nevertheless, that glow from the eternal can shine through every minute, even though there's other things happening. So what we will do tonight, we will start our foot soak, and we'll start with a couple of very basic things, and then we will go through the actual poem and the list of things that the eternal is not. And accepting that will create great joy, because it's a relief that, in fact, we're none of that stuff which comes and goes. How can there be eternal joy if we identify with the transient? So people have been to the eternal and back. So that's another great news and point of joy. Of course, you can look at those great sayings. Our ego can immediately come up. Oh my God, do you hear what it is? What I am? Oh my God, that's amazing. Or our other side, the left side, can come up and say, oh my God, in a million years of meditating, I'm not going to be like this guy, right? None of this is true. Also, a bit of the center side can come up and say, oh, you know what, that guy, the other, that guy, he really is not like that. No, that's not it either. The point is, this is there. And the more we accept it is there, the more it becomes more us, or we become more the eternal. That's really the story here. On that note, let's ask the divine power to bless our foot soak with the great power to absorb our heat and whatever other impurities we have, and give it a couple of twirls. And then slide in. And now let's very gently raise our Kundalini. Again, full extension, head back, nice big knot involving all the joints, because the joints are the projections of the chakras. So it's important to get the whole system in the path of the mother Kundalini. And then very nice full horseshoe, really from low to low, with full respect. So you will notice that in the poem, there are lots of things which are not mentioned, because spiritual aspirants at that time, they were involved with none of it already. No families, no possessions, no work, as in the job. So the thing that occupies 99.99% of our mind, they had already gotten rid of. But we haven't. So let's close our eyes. And keep the left hand on our lap. And let the right hand dangle towards the Mother Earth, or put it on the Mother Earth. And ask, Mother, please fully awaken the divine child within us.
Hello. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Please let the great principle of divine innocence and wisdom flow throughout our inner being and purify it. Lord, please free us from our past. Help us rise above all our past. Lord, please let all our conditions dissolve in the pure light of the Self. Very good. Let's put the right hand back in our lap and put the left hand up, fingers pointing up and palm backwards. Mother, please free us from all our identification with the future. Please help our attention to seek the eternal always. Very good. Let's put the left hand back in our lap and with the right hand cup the base of our neck. Mother, please fully awaken the power of pure witnessing within us. Please help us rise above all reactions. Very good. Now we can put the right hand on our heart. Now read slowly how it looks from the point of view of the eternal. And in the first line, it says we should be thoughtless to begin with, because the first line is we are neither the mind, the emotional mind, the intellect, or the ego. Essentially, it's all above, beyond the balloons in our head. We are beyond the ears, the tongue, the nose, or the eyes. And we are not ether, earth, fire, or wind. We are the pure, blissful awareness, which is called as Shiva. It deals with the so-called living things. We are not the pure energy of life or the 5 vital breaths. The body's 7 elements or 5 coverings. We are beyond the organs of speech, beyond the hands, feet, and the internal organs. We are eternal blissful awareness. That is Shiva. We are beyond liking or loathing. We are beyond attachment or greed. We have no pride or jealousy. We are beyond duty, so-called selfishness, desire, or the idea of liberation. We are the pure blissful awareness. That is Shiva. We are beyond virtue or vice, pleasure and pain. We are not mantras or seeking holy places or religious ceremony. We are not the one who eats, nor the food or the enjoyment of that food. We are pure blissful awareness. That is Shiva. We have no fear of death, nor distinction of caste. We are beyond mother and father because we have no birth. We are beyond the duality of the guru and the disciple. And we have no brother or friend. We are pure blissful awareness. That is Shiva. We are beyond doubt and exist without form. We pervade all and we enliven the senses. We are eternal, unchanging, beyond being free or attached. We are pure blissful awareness. We are that which is Shiva. Now we can put the hand down and remain in silence for a few minutes.
अच्छा मेडिटेशन कर
Very good. We can now gently open our eyes and rinse our feet. Put the foot soak bucket on the side, and then we will watch a few minutes of a special talk where Shri Mataji puts her finger on the absolute.
So you have all kinds of joys. As I told you before, you have Swananda, the joy of the spirit. Then you have got Brahmananda, the joy of well-being. You have got Leelananda or Krishnananda, where you have the joy of the play. But when you reach the state of Sahasrara, it is Niranand, means sheer, absolute joy. Though the name Nira is my name, it means absolute. So when you put such an adjective before anything else, it becomes absolute. Thus you become absolute. And when you are at that state of absolute, then there is no place for anything else to be there but yourself. But let us see what is absolute. That means it is not relative. It has no relative quality. Absolute cannot be compared. Atulaniya, it cannot be compared. It cannot be related to anything. It is absolute. It cannot be comprehended because it cannot be related to anything else through which we can comprehend. It is absolute. Whatever way you try to know it, you go away from absolute. Whenever you try to analyze the absolute, you are away from it. So this is what at Sahasrara you get it, Niranand. In different stages of Sahaja Yoga, we had to start from Sharira Ananda, means the Ananda of the body. Manasa Ananda, the joy of the Manasa is the sight. Then you can say Ahankara Ananda, where you have to have the satisfaction of the ego. But the state has now to be established within us is of Niranand. then what is the question of fear? What is the question of talking about it? You cannot talk. Because how will you relate it? I cannot say it is like this, it is like that. There are no words for absolute to describe. Only by negation, not this, not this, not this, what remains is absolute. So you reach the state of absolute. And that is the state a complete communication is established. And in that communication, you have nobody else but the absolute within you. That is the level to which you should aspire. That should be the ascent which should be established within ourselves. We don't have to go to Himalayas. We don't have to do anything drastic. Remaining in this world, we have to become the absolute, the only, Kevalam. There's nothing like how for it. You just become. You just become like a flower becomes a fruit. It's all built in, within it. Allow it to work out. Just by surrendering, you become. Surrender. And you'll be surprised, you will be at the state where you will enjoy your absoluteness. It is absolute love, it is absolute compassion, it is absolute power. The words stop, the description stops. You just become the absolute and feel your absoluteness through it, with that oneness. If somebody is not with you, you don't worry. There is no company needed. You are alone, enjoying the absolute. There only you can enjoy the absolute in others also, in the best form, without seeing anything else but the absolute. May God bless you.
Jai Shri Mataji. I'm requesting all the Sahajogis friends over here. Please do meditate for a minute or two. I'm going to play Rag Hamsadhvani. Thank you. Jai Shri.
Thank you, Rhitom. That was beautiful. So let us build upon our experience today. Let us go on this inner journey of joy to the absolute, to the transcendent. The very first step is the silence. Let's establish our attention fully above our Sahasrara. We can give vibrations to our Brahmarandra, slightly massaging it. And then slowly pull the threads of Kundalini out. Let it flow strongly above your Sahasrara. Feel the coolness and the silence. Become stronger. Bring our palm back. Let us detach our attention from all the mundane concerns of the outer layers of our being. Let us detach from all our physical, mental worries, physical problems, emotional problems. I am not this, I am not that. Neti neti. Not this body, not this mind, neither the emotions, thoughts, or the intellect. Joy is our innate nature. It is verily our true self. It's not outside. And just like a still, pure, transparent lake, that reveals the beauty that lies within. Let the silence become the mirror through which we become aware of our true self. Through this silence, become aware of the awareness itself. The pure I am. Without any distinction, without any duality of I am this or I am that, but just pure awareness, pure I am. This pure I am is without any divisions of space. It knows no separation or union. It is one complete whole. Dehatit. Beyond form, beyond duality of form and formless. This pure I am is not divided by time. It is eternal, beyond past, present, or future. It has no ruminations of past, no anxiety of future. beyond time, Kalatit. Feel that expansion of consciousness when all these illusionary limitations of mind dissolve and become more and more one and aware of our pure self. Feel the joy of that freedom, that absoluteness. This pure I am is without any desires, without any restlessness, without any effort, for it lacks nothing. It is complete. It is full. It is Purna. It even lacks the awareness of what lack is. Has always been complete. Enjoying its completeness. Enjoying its fullness. Enjoying its limitlessness, its absoluteness. Feel it, be it. This pure joy is just the effortless radiance of this pure, expanded state of consciousness, beyond any limits and fetters of mind. The Adi Shankaracharya says in the last paragraph of Tad NIshkala, Aham nirvikalpo nirakara rupa I am without any doubts. This pure I am is singular without any alternatives. There is no scope for any doubts. I am beyond space, beyond form. Space and time, they themselves exist in this pure awareness. Vibhur vyapta sarvatra sarvin indriyana. All pervading I am. And the power of pure consciousness is what powers all the senses. It is eye of the eye, ear of the ear, nose of the nose. It is the spirit, the Atma, that powers all the senses. Vibhur vyaptra sarvatra sarven indriyana. Sada me samatvam na mukte na bandha. Eternal, unchanging I am. Without any conception of bondage or liberation. This pure I am has always been free, without any bondage. Thus, there is no seeking for liberation. It has always been complete. Satchita Ananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. Eternal bliss and awareness. I am. I am Shiva. I am Shiva. We can place our right palm on our heart. And feel this eternal truth resonate in our being. Satchitananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham Nirmal Tattva Swarupam Shivoham Shivoham Purnam Nirvikalpam Satya Swarupam Shivoham Shivoham Anandoham Anandoham Shivoham Shivoham. Let's meditate in complete silence, feeling our pure self. So let us now conclude. It is difficult to come out of this absoluteness. Let us remember this. The fragrance of this experience will always stay with us. Let's slowly raise our Kundalini. Put ourselves in Bandhan. So now it's time for some announcements. So we are on this beautiful journey together. We are on the 5th installment of the 21-day program, which is ongoing. And there are collective foot soaks and meditations that are also happening on Monday, Wednesday, Friday at same time, but for a shorter duration. So continue to make use of these sessions to really establish your spiritual connection and your state of meditation. On Sunday, we will cover the important topic of keeping our attention on our spirit. We can go deeper and touch the joy of our spirit and really feel the absoluteness. But the important point is always how to remain there and be there, touch that state often, again and again. So we will learn that. And then if you don't have a mentor, then you can fill a form out to request one. You can join our WhatsApp community group where we share spiritual messages and updates. And all these sessions are recorded on YouTube. And if you follow this link, you'll be able to find all the sessions that have been recorded so far. So even if you have missed some, you can always go back and review those sessions and catch up. All right, so this is the time. If you want to go in a breakout room and meet with a Sahaja Yoga teacher and ask any questions or seek guidance or help, then this is the time. You can type in the chat. There is a breakout room help person, and you can let them know. Or you can stay here and we will be sharing our experiences. We have some questions and we'll be answering them. All right.
Wonderful. Thank you, Rahul. This was very uplifting as usual.
Thank you, Andrei.
Is I think a very simple question that probably came to many of our minds as we were encountering those realities as well as concepts. So it's probably on lots of people's minds is this joy. Is it different from happiness? Is it different from what we call as the bliss. What, how would you, or how would we clarify it, or maybe it's unclarifiable. Maybe everybody has to figure that out on themselves, for themselves.
No, I would say there are definitely distinct characteristics that separate joy from happiness. There are two things. Joy is singular and it is constant. So what I mean by that is, if we look at happiness in our life, it is always following this duality of happiness and unhappiness. It is cyclical. For example, if I'm hungry, I eat food, then I feel happy. But if I am full and if I eat food, then that same food doesn't give me happiness. If I try to eat when I am full, it may even give me some pain because I can only eat so much. Now, again, to experience that happiness, I have to wait. I have to experience the pangs of hunger. And only then I can experience happiness. So they exist in this dual way, like two sides of a coin, that happiness and unhappiness come together. And also happiness is something you have to depend on outside things to give you happiness. But joy is singular. It doesn't have an opposite. When we get into that state of silence in our Sahasrara, there is this continuous gentle feeling of joy that expresses itself. And you are never bored by that experience. You want to remain in that state for as long as possible. You are never satiated by it, in a sense that you continue to enjoy that state. And it is constant. It does not fluctuate. It is always there. There is no cyclical up and down nature of joy. And above all, it is within you. You realize that I don't have to depend on anything external. All I have to do is go to the core of my being, and my fundamental nature is joy. So that is how I have felt it, understood it.
And how about the bliss? Is essentially joy is another name for bliss, you think?
In my journey of Sahaja Yoga, I have understood that joy is even, I have experienced that joy is even deeper than bliss. And it is hard to explain the difference, but bliss could be, it's like you are standing on the ocean front and the waves come and hit you, and you feel the bliss, the exhilaration in your pores. In the same way, when we meditate, the vibrations, they come and they hit your being, the threshold of your being, and you feel blissful. But even in that state, there is this duality of the source, the receiver, and the flow. But in joy, there is no duality, because joy is only experienced when all these three things merge in complete oneness. When you are completely one, and the experiencer, the experience, and the act of experiencing, they all become one. And that is where you feel joy. So in joy, there is not even this feeling of, it doesn't come like a wave, it is constant. So I would say, like, happiness is not singular, it has duality. Also, it is not constant. Bliss, I would say, it has no duality. When we are experiencing it, we don't feel a state of unbliss or opposite of bliss. We enjoy that experience thoroughly for as long as we are feeling it. But then there is again this nature of rising and falling in bliss. But joy is even more subtle and gentle, and there's no tension or any kind of weight on our being. It's so close and so integral part of our being. I hope I was able to explain it in words. It's very difficult to do so.
Yeah, and I mean, certainly, I think the happiness versus joy is we sort of, each of us learn a little bit that distinction fairly quickly once we truly feel the vibrations well, you know, and we can carry that stream through us throughout the day. That was certainly my, you know, how I understood how this works is when, not just when we sit for meditation, but where we go to work, and you still, you know, you carry the flow of the vibrations, and you realize that that's independent of anything outside, right? So when you when that actually happens, it makes that difference very obvious, right? I mean, the bliss, I think it's you know, as you probably know, some of the great poets, saints have put the bliss of bhakti above everything else, because bliss is a ecstasy of the heart.
Yes, the ecstasy
itself. And in their devotional, in their pure love relationship with the divine, it's obviously that cannot be a permanent state. It is not possible while we have a body. But it's those are just trying to sense those things puts one in a higher mood. I think it's a good thing.
Right. Yes. Yeah. So that's why we have to feel the joy. That's the ultimate Niranand.
And what do you feel that kind of helps us touch the joy a bit more reliably and maintain the flow better?
Yeah.
Feel that tickle.
So there are two things I have experienced. The example of it could be, again, a lake which is still, it is pure, and then it becomes transparent. So there are two things that happen in a lake which is still and pure. One is that you can look through it and you can see what the content is. You can see all the beauty, the flora and the fauna that lies at the depths of it. And also what happens is that silent lake reflects all the beauty that is around it. It reflects it on the surface. So when we are meditating, being in that state of silence really becomes like that transparent lake that allows us to feel our true self. And more we approach our true self, and more we are able to become one with it, we feel that deep state of joy in the state of meditation. Now, in our day-to-day life, when we are interacting with the world outside, if we can maintain a state of witness without any reaction, then just like the lake, we are reflecting the beauty on the surface. And in the same way, if we are not reactive and witnessing things, then we can reflect the joy of all that is happening around us in our consciousness. And I think these two things are important, that reaching a state of thoughtless awareness while meditating and maintaining a state of witness while interacting with the world is what brings those moments of joy.
Oh, there's no question that that without those is very hard to get near it. I mean, from my perspective, I think the another two sides to this, which are a little bit the other side, isn't it? Is remembering that the absolute core essence of it all is innocence. And somehow just remembering that, and when something feels sub-joyful, to spend a moment and look at it with the most innocence we can have, right? And try to live in the most innocent way, and look at everything in the most innocent way, and that itself washes away a lot of the prickles, you know, that can distract from the joyful stuff. And the other thing is a certain, I find that once a certain amount of gratitude towards the divine and towards our teacher is reached, that helps maintain that state where it's really easy to get to the joyful flow.
Yes, exactly. Yes, opening of our heart. Yes,
these things are also added onto what you were mentioning, and I feel that it's a good little recipe to start with.
Yes, yes, definitely that way.
So as you kind of went through your journey, were there a few things, where a few moments or certain combinations which were a little bit of a push to a next stage, where the clarity of how this comes to us occurred in a more distinct way, or was just at some point we all realize it, we don't even realize how we realized it?
Yeah, I would say it's a continuous journey, evolutionary journey, where we realize the deeper and deeper layers of joy and its true and more absolute meaning and understanding. Of course, as Shri Mataji mentioned in the talk, when we get our realization and when all these principles of chakras, they start manifesting within us, which we have not felt so clearly before, then that experience gives us joy. When the innocence again reflects in our consciousness that we felt as a child, then that gives us joy. When the creativity gets sparked and we are able to express ourselves, then that gives us joy. When the heart opens and feels the love of divine, that gives us joy. So with the opening of the chakras within us, we experience all these different aspects of joy. But again, these different aspects of joy are like the 7 colors of a rainbow. When they all integrate together in the Sahasrara, the whole becomes greater than the sum of its parts. And that is the joy of the absolute that we experience, which we call as Nirana, which is just sheer joy, which has no qualities as such or attributes, but it is pure experience of joy. And that experience unfolded, I would say, over course of time. It's all about how much we stay in that state of thoughtless awareness and remain there and maintain it and establish it. The more and more we have opportunity to recognize our true self, because it's like entering into a treasure house or a room which is dark and we don't know the beauty of our inner being. Thoughtless awareness is like switching on the light. And every time we enter into that treasure room, there are so many jewels that if we switch on the light for a small moment of time, we see one jewel or the other. But there's so much more. And the more we can keep the light on, the more we realize all the beauty that is there and the deeper levels of it. So yeah, it's a continued journey. It's still a work in progress and a journey in progress.
I mean, what I'm concerned, I mean, certainly a couple of the times where there was this fairly major blossoming of the heart was
Right.
not so much when I was actually sitting and meditating. I mean, I think there was more bliss business in that side, where it was actually when I was with Sahaja yogis, and sometimes we were talking, sometimes it was an event, but it was in this collective piece, when I was by myself, right? And that's and I'm talking in a big way, right? So when you really understood what the big cake taste is like. the seven story cake. It was in a collective circumstance, and sometimes literally just talking like this, and all of a sudden something happened somewhere, and it was amazing.
Yeah, there are definitely discrete jumps. I have experienced them too, that happen, which really give you the glimpse of that higher state. Yeah, it happens spontaneously in those moments. So
yeah, totally. Yeah, exactly. Well, I think this was a lovely evening, and we hope everybody enjoyed as much as we did. and obviously the next sessions will continue to deepen and expand our inner perception and readiness for joy and bliss and a few other amazing things. And I think at this point we will allow for the closing music for whoever wants to continue to meditate for a little bit. And we will wish a wonderful rest of the week and weekends to everybody else, and a happy meditative journey. Good night, everybody, and thank you very much, Rahul. Thank you, the technical team.
thank you, everyone. Good night.